Good morning, Canadian Angus Association membership, and welcome to your October edition of ACTV. This is a special edition for you where we're talking about one thing. The board has been leading up to this a long time, having listened to you, and we're very proud to talk to you about the Angus Cow Enrollment Program. In this beautiful setting, we're going to have the opportunity to hear from President David Sibbald, talk about the genesis of the program, and then we're going to talk to you about the philosophy of this thing that's going to become the new way of doing business for Canadian Angus Association members on January 1st, 2018. So folks, sit back and take a listen to all about Angus Cow Enrollment, or ACE program, on ACTV. So in one form or another, Dave, the Board of Directors of the Canadian Angus Association has talked about a concept like this for many years. What's brought it about now?
Well, I think, Rob, the interesting fact is the board's kind of been together for the last 3 years. We've had a few new members from various regions come together, and we started to think about if we had the opportunity to do things different, kind of clean the slate, if you may say, and build something, what would it look like? And as we, brought some information from our ownership linkage questions that we've had over the past 3 years, some surveys, membership discussions from boards from various regions, it kind of came to about what really looked to be the thing is a cow-based system. Really the beginning of ACE, where we would provide all the services and all the tools that we currently have and wrap them up into one fee. Make it simpler, make it more efficient, make it more value for our members. And so from there, we started to put some framework and some discussion pieces around that.
And what was behind the board's decision to what all would be included in ACE as it currently is looking?
Well, I think we wanted to provide the maximum value, and really all the things we have other than our third party, our genomic testing per se, and our genetic condition testing, we figured those were all values that we wanted to include in this fee. So we started to look, and we did some financial analysis and some cost effectiveness, and it really looked like that would be what we wanted to put in there, as all those things that we could possibly put in there to create as much membership value as possible.
So when you think that membership value and include the Canadian Angus Rancher Endorsed Tag, you include parent verification, what do you think would be the upside benefit to members of the Canadian Angus Association who currently aren't utilizing those services that then would have access to them through their ACE fee?
Well, I'm a believer that as we move forward, we're just looking at the trends that are being established in the cattle industry today. I mean, trace back, herd of origin, the ability to actually verify and validate, I think is something that is going to take over our industry. And I mean, we already have in Canada a traceback system. Why would we not be using the Angus tag?
Many members have said that we currently have a cow enrollment system or a herd inventory system. Differentiate for me, Dave, ACE from our Canadian Angus Performance Program, or CAP, that the majority of our members are currently on.
Well, I think what we're evolving to here is where every cow pays the same. From a member standpoint, I think it's the simplest and best that every Angus cow pays the same fee. I think that's a remarkable, unique, one of a kind that nowhere else in the world actually has, and I'm quite excited about that.
As an Angus breeder myself, Dave, I have to say that when the Canadian Angus Association Board of Directors says it's all about the Angus cow, it's something that makes me pretty excited to think about and prepare for.
Yeah, and I mean, Rob, when we had those discussions about even, about the breed and what we stand, we had, excuse me, the brand discussion. The Angus cow is our brand. There's no if, ands, or but. The Angus cow is what our brand is. And so to build a system around our brand, the cow, I think is revolutionary, and very excited about it.
So Dave, one of the things that the board always challenges me to do is to create more value for our Canadian Angus Association members. So we're in negotiations to have more frequent EPD runs. We actually have the objective of being able to do one a month, perhaps even more frequent than that. Also to create more opportunity for utilization of the genetic samples that our members submit. How does ACE tie into and create added value out of those?
Well, I think what ACE does is definitely will increase the number of samples we're going to get from our members. And with that, we have the ability to start to tie and loop our genetics back through the commercial cattle industry in our CAPE program, where we'll start to get data back from the purveyors, the packers, put it back into our system and identify the sires and the lines of cattle that are actually helping the commercial cattle industry be more profitable. So I mean, the value that we talk about, firstly, there's value within our own membership, but really the large value will be in the commercial cattle industry, the people that we provide seed stock genetics to. That to me is the most exciting part. That to me will position the Angus breed where we are number one, but we will want to be number one for a long period of time. And so as we talked before, it's about creating not the value today, but the value that's going to be sustainable down the road for our commercial cattle.
An implementation date of January 1, 2018. What is the timeline leading up to that point? And what's the board and the membership going to be doing about ACE leading up to that point?
Great question, Rob. What I want the members to first think about is the program and then the price, because that's exactly what the board did over the process of about 1.5 to 2 years, is think about the program, the value, the strategy, the long-term sustainability of the breed before we start to think about the price. So through this fall run, shows and sales, regional annual meetings, we want to engage our membership, have a visit, discuss the program. The price will come second.
I know that it wasn't that many years ago that when we would look at a cow like this, the idea of data would not even factor into our decision making. We'd just say, she's a really good cow. We'd maybe pay some attention to the pedigree. What ACE is doing is absolutely verifying that pedigree beyond a shadow of a doubt, but also paying a lot of respect to and perhaps recognizing the increased economic value of the data that our members are increasingly pursuing and that customers are increasingly demanding. And not just our commercial bull buyers, but on down every link in that value chain, through the feeders and through that final packing harvest of those animals, that's actually saying, if we can know before the hide comes off these animals what kind of programs they're going to be able to be eligible for, that makes efficiencies across the line there. So I think that a lot of what you're talking about is the efficiency that comes about as a result of data. ACE is going to give us more data than we've ever had before and increase the traceability component of things. So it really is an industry-leading initiative.
Totally agree. And I mean, the other component is the cow base and the balance that Canadian Angus genetics have established worldwide. Is the cow's functional, she's sound, she's good uddered. I mean, she's a cow that has fertility and rebreeds over and over and over again. Canadian genetics are sought around the world because of the balance. The more information we have, the better we will be able to guarantee and maintain that balance that we need and can provide to the commercial cattle industry.
So there you have it, folks, from our president's mouth, on behalf of his board of directors that sits around the table at Angus Central, to your ears. We look forward to engaging you further in this conversation over the next few months, but that's all we've got for this October issue of ACTV. We'll see you down the road this fall, folks, and have a great one.